Hello friends, today we're going to be talking about my new song, Already Won. I actually wrote this song in 2021 and I had it as a demo for a long time. I always really liked it, but it never quite felt done to me. I always had a plan of going back and re-recording everything and really making it polished and nice and perfect. And this year I went back to do exactly that, but when I tried to get specific about what I wanted to change, I couldn't get specific. So what you hear on the final track is ultimately the demo, but cleaned up a little bit. I did not record anything new, it was all from the demo. So I guess Already Won was already done. Let's take a look at the project file. Alright, here it is. First thing I started on this track was this melody loop, and I didn't even pitch it up or down. I guess this was before I was worried about Shazam and all that difficulty you get when you're using samples. Starts with the original sample completely unchanged, and then once the beat drops, I get into this chop. I used to chop so different. This is a way harder way to do it. They're all individual simplers. Nowadays, I just have one simpler and it's set to splice mode, which is way easier. Here's how I processed it. Giant low end cut here, I did not need to do that. Got some glue compressor, I'm using it as a parallel compressor. Low pass filter, then just some reverb and delay. And some saturator at the end. And of course, a chop like that is just begging for some classic boom-bap drums, so that's exactly what I gave it. These all came from a splice pack called Soulful Boom-bap Drums Volume 1. And I have some bass guitar here, I'll play that with the drums. When I recorded this, I had a really crappy bass and it buzzed constantly. It was really hard to get a clean note out of it. So a lot of my bass lines at this time were just dirt simple just because that's the only way I could get it to work. And this was one of those things that I did consider retracking, but at the end of the day, I thought it fit the track, I thought it worked well, and I really didn't need to change it. I just felt like I had to change it because it was my bad bass. We'll get into my vocals a little bit here.
I'm on that boom bap shit, the rat-a-tat-tat-tat shit. I'm making waves with a sample and a drum kit.
This is actually the vocal from my original demo. So as I was writing this, as I finished a line, I would record that line so I could get that line remembered, but also so I could keep the flow of how I wrote it. So that's how this entire track was written. And I do reference that in the song as I'm writing it.
10,000 hours, but I'm not making time. Progress seems to crawl, fighting line by line.
So that was a reference to me in the moment, fighting line by line, trying to finish this song. And it was a bit of a slow process. Lyrics are always a slow process for me, but this one in particular was a labor of love. It took me a long time, but I was really happy once it was done. And in true old school style, I mostly just have one vocal, and once in a while I have two vocals.
Vinyl crackling like a warm June, knocking throwback records from dawn till the full moon.
Yeah, so incredibly sparse, especially if you've seen my other breakdown videos. This is not a lot of vocals. And that was mostly just to keep in line with the genre. I wanted something that could have been released in the 90s, potentially. Yeah, so that covers all the instruments. The FX, I have some very subtle things going on. There's a very quiet sweep up, I don't even know if you could hear that. Then these kind of chimes that come in on the second interlude. Then a sweep up again. So that's it for effects. Once again, very minimal. As I was writing this song, I wanted a break in between the verses, and I didn't really want a chorus. I just sort of had a break. So it was returning to the unchopped sample and then just some bass noodling. And I liked it. I wanted that break in between the verses. I didn't want them to be continuous. But I wanted something on top of that. It felt very empty as it was. So I went on Fiverr and paid someone to play saxophone over this track. Manuel Trabuco. And I went in with low expectations. At the time I actually bought this, I was not even trying to release this song. I was just kind of curious what a Fiverr musician sounds like. He sent me multiple takes of him improvising different things, and I actually just cut and chose what I liked, kind of made my own solo, piecing them together, and I really liked it. I think that fits the song really good, and I just love how it sounds. So I love that. It was just the exact thing I needed in that section. Like I said, the song's really simple, so we really covered all of it. Last thing I want to look at here is the album art. So like I said, this is a classic boom-bap song, so I wanted some kind of street art, a mural or something like that. And I came across this mural in Faribault and I liked it and I took a picture of it. I reached out to the artist and she gave me permission, which was awesome because I think this is the perfect art for this song. And her name is Jordan Brennan, and I will link to her Instagram below. So the song is called Already Won, and kind of the idea behind that is once I've created a piece of art, I've already won. I don't need to wait for any type of external validation or any X amount of success. Just creating the piece of art was the success. And of course, I'm trying to promote the song as well, but I always feel that even if I don't have success, I'm just having a great time making music and making my art. Thank you for making it to the end, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
I'm on that boom-bap shit, the rat-a-tat-tat-tat shit. I'm making waves with a sample and a drum kit. I built my home inside the bass and the snare. Lose me in the hats, it's like I ain't even